going to sound a little American probably, but go for your dream and never give up.
It's always when you move, when you are doing something, but you are learning, but you are growing, but your life is interesting, always.
They were kind of impressed
yeah.
by the craziness and sometimes maybe just being stupid.
Putting their head in the wall, bam, bam, bam. Don't be chosen. Choose. Took me 30 years to understand that.
So I told JC, listen, if I try to be smart or intelligent for 2 minutes, I would stop now.
All my body says stop.
Stop it. Stop this project, find a job and secure your family. And you know what, Jesse? I'm gonna keep on going with this project.
It's all about the people. If you have the people, you can do everything. If you don't have the people...
The best advice I received from someone is, Manu, don't do that.
If you respect yourself, if you respect your brand, you have to.
In this Sports and Outdoor Mentors episode, I chat with Manu and JC, the co-owners of the iconic surf brand Oxbow. Manu and JC have a combined 50 years of experience in the sports and outdoor industry and have worked for multiple brands, including Reebok, Salomon, Rossignol, Billabong and Dakine. They talk about life before Oxbow, the challenges they face trying to acquire the brand, and much more. Before we get into the episode, I do have one favour to ask. Less than 50% of people watching or listening are subscribed. So please hit the subscribe or follow button to help us reach more people so that they can also benefit from the valuable insights leaders like Manu and JC share. I hope you enjoy the episode. If you do, please don't forget to like and leave a comment. JC and Manu, so between the two of you have more than 50 years experience in the sports and sports industry. Yeah. So, but I'm interested, maybe before we get into that, why the sports industry? What kind of drew you in? I know you had slightly different backgrounds, even though you came together, I think, at Billabong the first time.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know who wants to go first, but yeah, what got you into sports in the first place?
Ladies first?
Yeah.
So I start.
The beauty before the
So when you said 40 years, 40, 50, it's 40 and 10.
Well,
okay.
I was going to let the audience
I just want to make it clear from the beginning. So that being said, what my main motivation since ever is the passion of action sports. I'm a snowboarder. I love surfing and skateboarding, and the reason why I'm here, the first reason is because of this passion.
Okay. And you grew up, I think, in the Alps, if I know well.
I grew up in the mountains.
And that was, I guess, somehow natural. The action sports and snowboarding was in your path, or was it something that was a part of life as a kid?
Yeah, it was part of my life when I was a kid. I grew up on a snowboard, and when I got to the point where I had to decide what to do professionally, it came as something very obvious. I wanted to work or to merge my passion for action sports and my my career, I would say. And I had the opportunity to do both at the same time, starting at Salomon, working in the snowboard department, spending a lot of time on the slopes. So that's how it all started.
And for me, that's completely different. I was not supposed to work in this industry. I was more in football. And I was really a great... I really enjoy playing football. But for me, working in the sport industry was not really a work or a job. So I started working as a sales rep for big industries like Hertz, rental car, or 3M. And I think finally it was only a luck to work in this industry, because a friend of mine told me that Reebok was looking for a sales guy in my area, and that's the reason why I started working in the sport industry. And I've been very, very lucky finally, because I have been the opportunity to work all my entire life in this industry, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I can confirm. So you've both had, I would say, really strong career progression throughout your careers, as you said, starting out as a sales rep, yourself, I think, at Salomon, product marketing manager, and now you're leading and owning a brand. And we'll probably spend most of the time today talking about maybe the last 4 years, particularly, obviously here at Oxbow. But I'm interested, kind of looking back at your career, what would you identify as maybe the key reasons why you've been able to kind of progress and why you've been able to sit here today in the position that you are?
I think this is the reliability, because as a sales guy, the most important thing for a sales guy is to have the confidence from his customer. And when you have this confidence, you have the customer. And when you have the customer, it's worth a lot of money for the companies. And I think this is thanks to this reliability, because I have always been very reliable with my customers and I always had their confidence. And that's probably the main reason I have been able to do this career.
And did you, over your career from a sales point of view, does anybody stand out as being somebody that particularly influenced you or guided you or supported you through your career, either professionally or personally?
Not really, except the values I had since I am a kid from my parents.
Okay.
It's all about the values.
Yeah.
And just not thinking about my money or my bonuses at the end of the year, but just thinking that what is the good deal with the customer if I want to have a long-term deal.
Yeah.
So I think it's more about values. So I would say from my parents.
So I think those values will probably come up a little bit later again when we talk about Oxbow, because I already start to feel a similarity.
Yeah.
But Manu, what about for you?
Of course, the reason why I'm here today is probably because I've been professional enough, structured enough to make my way through all the different steps. But probably the main reason, the main motivation why I'm here today is because I always wanted to own my future and to be my own boss, make my own decisions, or make our own decisions. I've always been chasing this power of decision and not having someone on top of me telling to me what to do or not. That was my ultimate target, to be my own boss. And that's what pushed me through all the experiences and all the steps I went through. And people, I met a lot of people, and I loved that. I had a lot of managers and colleagues, and I would say most of them showed me what not to do. So it was a good lesson for me, and only very few of them showed me what to do. And and I want to say that one of them is JC, and he has a couple year more than me, and he's a little more experienced.
It's only a couple now, you know.
Yeah,
it was
much better.
Because this is the
truth starts to come out.
and I really benefit from his experience, professional experience, and also his values and the way he sees the life at work and outside work as well.
Okay, interesting. So did you know each other before you worked together at Billabong?
First time we met was at Billabong.
And was it already? Did you feel quite quickly that there was a strong relationship and, let's say, an alignment of values, or maybe not?
I know. Yeah, I was laughing because to have contact with Manu, it takes years.
Okay.
It was not just in one time we said, okay, wait, we are friends for life. Yeah. No, it's time after time we know each other much better, and I think that we are very different, very, very different in so many things. But I think we have one common point, is the value of the human being, and that's so important for Manu. I never see a guy so deep in this value, and for me that's also a very important value, you know. And I think that was the common point. And the second point was it's not all about money. It's just about of what you do and with how you do it, with who you do it. So, I think one more time. Actually, this is the values, but built our partnership.
Yeah,
it's more than friendship.
Okay,
it's like family now, Manu.
yeah. No, I can imagine. But so it took a few years maybe to build that strong relationship, let's say.
Yeah.
But then you must have built it, because it feels like, at one point or another, I think you went from Billabong to Dakine, from Dakine to La Croix, and obviously from La Croix to here. So when you did form that relationship, it's clear it was strong. Was it one of you or the other was kind of, I don't want to say pulling the other one, but attracting the other one to, okay, look, this is a great opportunity with a new company? Or how did that work? How did that kind of path happen?
Mm-hmm. Just to mention that at the beginning, one of the reasons why we also came along together well, it's because we were very complementary. I'm really into marketing and product, and I'm not really into sales, and that's not something that give me a lot of motivation to take care. And JC was really, still is in the sales, and in the couple we had our own field, and both, I would say, together we are really strong because we cover all areas. So that was the beginning, and after years, of course, the relationship is even stronger than just being complementary, because I take care of marketing and product, and he takes care of sales. It's much more than that, but it was really the starting point. And as he mentioned, it takes me usually 10 years to trust someone.
Okay.
And I have never been disappointed by the collaboration with JC. It's even more than that. It's together we grew up stronger in our professional life, at least mine, and it's very reassuring, very reassuring to me that I can count on JC for all the sales topics. He's the only one I rely so much. So that was very important. And talking about who's leading the couple, I would say I'm a little more adventurous than JC, probably. So
I agree.
I wanted to go for this ultimate adventure with Oxbow or any other company. I wanted to own something. I wanted to drive and to run a business, and I suggested JC would be the right partner for that, and it took me not so long to convince him. I think he had enough trust in me to come on board, and that's how we decided to go for this project.
Yeah. I have a little story to show why I'm so confident in and I have so many trust in Manu. At that time, he was working in the US, and he wanted to come back in Europe. And the guy in charge of the company at that time said to Manu, "Okay, you can go back to Europe, but you have to fire someone to take his place, to take his position. And when you are married with 4 kids, a lot of loans, everybody do what he has to do, and he fires someone to take the place." And Manu told me, "I will never do that. I asked these people to move from Osgore to Annecy, and now because I want to come back to Annecy, I will never fire someone. So I will be fired." And that's the first time, and that's the only time I saw that. So I said, okay, if he's able to do that, I think I can give my confidence to Manu. And so that's the reason why. And then for who is the leader in the couple, this is Manu, absolutely, because he is more adventurer. I think he's more motivated. I was not so deep in wanted to be my boss. My parents run a company, and it was only pain in the ass to run a company. It was not fun at all. So I didn't want to run a company. So it was really Manu who decided that. And the other point is, and I think that's probably the most important point, the successful companies are always led by the marketing or product, never by the sales, never by the finance. So I think it makes sense, but the leader is the guy in charge of the marketing on the product.
Yeah, that's really interesting that you said about your parents were entrepreneurs, were running their own business. If I was to bet, I would have assumed that it would be you, and that's why your motivation to run your own business was so strong. So was that the case for you, Manu, or was it completely different?
You mean about my parents?
Yeah.
I mean, they were, kind of entrepreneur as well, but for me, it wasn't a question if it's difficult or not. The freedom of driving his own destiny was much higher than anything else. Yeah. So even today, of course, coming at work every day, dealing with issues, it's a big pressure. I mean, we have a huge responsibility. It's 100 families we have to secure somehow. So, but we don't think about that. We think about the success and the pleasure, the fun, and the privilege to make our own decisions. So that's really above everything else to me.
Yeah, I'm interested. Was Oxbow a target, or maybe when did Oxbow kind of come into your sights of, okay, this is a business that could be interesting? Because so you bought the business in 2020, if I remember, May 2020, something like that.
May.
And if I believe everything that I read, which is not always the case, it was quite a long process, 18 months, something like that.
2 years, actually.
2 years, okay,
yeah.
Wow. So you were thinking about, obviously, the brand quite a long time before, but so what drew you to the brand, and what made it appealing to acquire Oxbow?
I grew up with Oxbow in mind, of course, and not just in mind, but on my shoulders as well. I was wearing Oxbow product, and it was the great era of Oxbow in the 90s. So I knew the brand since the creation, probably. So it was on my radar. The day I decided to take over a company, I looked at what was available on the market, I would say, and Oxbow was one of the brands available on the market. So it was not so many. So I asked myself, okay, Oxbow was a legendary brand for sure. But in the late 20s, it wasn't the case anymore. Oxbow wasn't a cool brand anymore, not to me at least. But I thought there would be something to do with Oxbow. It was not damaged. The brand wasn't damaged, just sleepy, forgotten, but not damaged. And that's the reason why I decided to ask JC if he wanted to join on the project and try to take over Oxbow, because at the time when we started, it was just a try. We wasn't sure to be successful to buy the brand, the company. But the brand had enough potential, in my sense, to be taken over and awaken.
Yeah. After our last experiences in the ski industry, we decided to work together in running our own company. But we didn't know at that time which company would be. Yeah. And that's Manu who told me, okay, it could be Oxbow. And I thought at that time that it was a joke. Because for me, acquiring Oxbow for 2 salaries without any money, it was impossible. Yeah. And Manu told me, hey, Jesse, there is a lot of money. We will find the money. Yeah. So let's try. This is how it started.
Yeah, probably because we weren't experienced enough to consider or to anticipate all the issues we would face, that we decided to go for it. Yeah. And that's probably the best that happened to us, was to be naive enough, just no experience to take over a company. So we couldn't see all the obstacles we had to get through it. So just, let's go for it. It's not going to be so difficult. Of course, we have to find money. It's okay. We're going to find money. Yeah. but actually the reality has been a little different, and we had a lot of obstacles to get through. I did couple tries before Oxbow. And the funny story is when I was younger, probably around 30 years old, I already made an offer to Khalida to take over Oxbow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
just on my own.
Yeah.
Just a simple email to the to the bank or
Ask.
hey, okay, I would offer this for Oxbow, no problem.
Yeah.
Can we talk?
Did you get a reply?
I got a reply. I still have them. I still have the replies, and back there are all emails. And but after a month, they decided not to go on with me.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So that experience of acquiring a brand, I'm sure a lot of people, probably a little bit as you to a certain extent, feel like it's maybe something out of reach, or maybe particularly from what you were saying, JC. So looking back on that process of acquiring, what were the big learnings that you had? What were the things that, like you said, that maybe initially the naivety kind of you didn't realize, but what were some of those challenges that you had to get over that really kind of helped you move to that next stage?
It's gonna sound a little American probably, but go for your dream and never give up. That's really the biggest lesson for me. It's nothing is impossible, of course not. We wanted to take over Oxbow. It was totally out of our expertise and resources, I would say, financial resources. But we went for it, and we never give up. Never.
And according to me, this is the confidence. Because we were so confident that we were able to run this company, for us it was so obvious that it will be not easy, but we were so confident in ourselves that finally all the other people, the ecosystem, like they said, that they believed in us, and they finally, this is what changed everything. We were so confident. For us, there were no doubt that we will be successful running Oxbow.
So where did that confidence come from?
Because Manu is so good and such a hard worker, but when you have the good product, the good strategy, the good marketing, if you are not doing stupid thing in sales, just respecting the work before, you have success.
Being employees, having the operational position for 20-25 years, it gives you huge expertise as well. And we believe that companies should be run by people knowing the job, like the job they ask to the employees to do. And of course, we didn't know anything about finance. Managing a company, for sure. Managing budgets, for sure. But finance, it's something different. It's something technical. But finance is just a way. It's just a way to.
It's a consequence.
Yeah, to take over a company or to run a business. It shouldn't be something leading the project. It's something it's a resource.
Yeah.
And if you consider finance, for instance, as a resource you can get it from someone else. You can find it, no problem. So that's what we have done. But we were experts of sales, marketing, and product, and managing people as well.
Yeah, of course.
That's where the confidence, at least for me, came from. When you know to manage people and you know the job you ask the people to do, okay, you have time or energy to improve on finance or logistics or things like that.
And we have been working together for 10 years something, and we had been through a lot of very difficult experiences, like a carve-out, social plan, moving her headquarters, struggling when you have a lot of debts, so many very, very difficult challenges. And we always have been very as successful. And we always have been a very good relationship for us. It's always been, like we were working, we always had fun working together, even if all the environment was so difficult. But we were very confident that we will be successful with Oxbow.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I think we have been lucky enough to acquire Oxbow.
And never lose the common sense as well.
Yeah.
Never ever. It's a basic. Too many people lose that when they run a company. I mean, we are doing T-shirts and sweatshirts.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we have to sell it to customers.
Other than in, let's say, your professional life, and we've already touched on this a little bit. Well, in fact, you've both touched on it from a soccer point, a football point of view, and a board sports point of view for yourself. But what role today does sport play in your life outside of Oxbow? Is it still something that's important for you?
Yeah, I love sport. It's my main hobby in life. I started playing football, then tennis, and now I play in golf because I'm too older to play the other sports. I would love be able to play football again, but unfortunately, I'm not have. How do you say that? In Vicen.
Healthy.
The fitness level.
Yeah, my fitness level. I drink a lot. I eat a lot, and so I'm not fit enough to play football anymore or tennis anymore. So now I'm playing golf, and I really enjoy playing golf. Yeah. And it's 100% of my weekend.
Yeah.
And when I look at TV, it's 90% of what I'm seeing is sport on TV. So sports is really a passion in my life. Okay. Really.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, action sports drive my career, but my life as well. That's how we decide where we go on holidays. I mean, it's all focused on action sports. I wake up in the morning before coming to work and I go surfing, snowboarding in winter. That's where I have a lot of fun with my kids, my friends. It's all about action sports, mainly surfing, snowboarding, skateboarding. I grew up with this in mind, and I never lost it.
Yeah. So and you have a wealthy
I have to
style of life, way of life.
I make sure that I will be able to surf and snowboard as long as possible. So of course I do exercise and physical exercises and try to maintain, even if the years are.
Doesn't help.
No,
he's lucky. He doesn't like alcohol. Yeah, he's lucky.
This is something else that is very important in our binôme. In couple, he drinks, he eats.
And he works.
And I work. I surf and I snowboard. So
Now I see the balance.
I'm the sales guy, I have to.
It's good for me.
How do you find a balance? Because JC, you spoke earlier on about your parents running their business, and that it was tough and a lot of work. And I think a lot of people would, from the outside, look in and say, "Okay, you're now running a company, and for sure that can give you freedom, but also, as you well articulated, you have 100 or so families that are somehow relying on the business, so that comes with it pressure. So, and we've already discovered that one of you works a lot and the other one plays golf, drinks and eats.
That's the perfect.
Am I stupid? No, probably not.
It took this long.
I really
I'm
enjoyed
slow.
this partnership.
But how do you find the balance? Because I think you're both married. You've got kids.
Yeah.
So you both have families. You enjoy sport. You have families. You're running and owning your own business. How do you find a balance, or do you find a balance?
I found a wife, a beautiful and an amazing wife that helps me to maintain the balance, of course, because I have kids, I have dogs, I have a house, I have many things, many reasons to not surf or snowboard, plus the pressure from work. But to be serious, of course, we have a huge pressure from work. And the goal is to not to reduce the pressure at work. It's difficult. It's to make sure we have enough fun to balance the pressure. So as soon as the pressure increases, we have to increase even more the pleasure, the fun. So the most pressure I have, the most surf and snowboard I do.
Okay.
That's how I try to maintain the balance. And I wake up early in the morning. I go to bed pretty late in the night. Sleep as less as possible.
Really?
Yeah, because it's important, but it's time where you don't surf, you don't snowboard, or you don't work.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough to have my kids snowboarding and surfing with me. Everybody's good shape, good health. So but really maintain the level of fun. It's very important, and never forget to have fun. That's the reason why I started this career. That's the reason why I started to work in the action sport. It's to in the end have fun and keep snowboarding and surfing. So I push myself to snowboard and surf as much as possible.
Okay, interesting. So I'm interested because for me, sleep is like this almost non-negotiable. Like I feel like, okay, I need to have so many hours of sleep. So, but what's like an average night for you in terms of hours?
I would say 5.
Okay, wow. Okay.
5 hours, 5 to 6,
Okay.
which is maybe a lot for many people, but it's less than I expected in the beginning. Yeah, 5 hours, and then
it's 10.
because it rains. So of course,
I'm very tired.
So then if you wake up in the morning at 5 and you go to bed at midnight, it's a lot of time to do everything. Yeah, it's great.
Interesting. Okay. So I'm guessing the answers are going to be slightly different.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a very good question because balance is very important. I don't want to die on regretting that I only work in my life. So the balance is very important. And I am very lucky because I have a wife who knows what is to run a business because his own parents was entrepreneurs as well. And she understands very well that I have to work a lot. And she also a very good golf player. So we spend a lot of time together playing golf during the weekend. So during the weekend, we are really together. And thanks to that, I have time during the week to work as much as I need. And the balance between the pressure and the fun in the work is also very important. And with Manu, each day, I think we speak together at least 1 or 2 hours every day. And we have a lot of fun because we have the same sense of humor, so we laugh a lot. So we don't have the feeling that we are working, even if we are always working together. And he's a very hard worker, so I have to follow him. So yes, we work a lot, but it's always very, very fun. Even in the most difficult period, we have fun. And that makes the difference because we don't take decision under pressure. We are taking decision, with a clear spirit, without pressure, because of the fun we have to work together, and that makes a big, big difference. Yeah.
If you look back at your career pre-Oxbow, is there any, or what are the key learnings of that career that came from a mistake that you made? That you're like, okay, I screwed that up. Okay, so this is a great learning from that. Is there anything that stands out?
Yeah, for me, I spent 15 years at Reebok.
Okay.
And I was in a very comfortable position. And I'm seeing that today, but at that time I was not thinking that way because it was so comfortable. But at that time, I lost my time. I could have done so many different things, so better things. So I lost my time because I did, at least the 5 last years, I didn't learn anything. So I lost my time, and that's a big regret. It's always when you move, when you are doing something, that you are learning, that you are growing, that your life is interesting. Always. So my biggest regret will be that. And it would have been cool to meet Manu 20 years ago, but earlier, I would say. It would have been cool, but but my biggest regret was to spend too much time at Reebok. Even if Reebok was such a great company, I spent so much. I have only good things to tell about Reebok. Just personally, I lost my time. The 5 last years.
And maybe that was connected to the. You talked earlier about maybe there's a bit of a risk, maybe risk aversion on this side of the table, and kind of more willing to take risk. And maybe that was part of it as well. Like you said, when you're in that kind of comfort zone. And it was easy.
And I really like to be in my comfort zone. This is my nature. But it's not the best. It's not where it's the most interesting, When you are in comfort zone, you are doing nothing, so that's cool. But at the end, but you regret, it's like in a day. If you want to stay in your bed, it's cool. But at the end of the day, you regret to stay in your bed. It's a kind of the same.
I would say when I was in the US, I had too much pressure for different reasons. I was in charge of too many things. And I started to forget the reason why I was in the action sport and why I was doing this job. And I started to really stop snowboarding and surfing. And I used to say, we're not saving life. I mean, we are doing t-shirts and sweatshirts. That's important. People rely on us. We are in charge of a business, so it's serious, but not enough to forget the reason why we do this job. And the reason why I do this job is really because I want also to have fun with my friends, with my family, with the people I'm working with. And I forgot this at this time, and it started to be only bad pressure, and it wasn't the right path. So yeah, I've been fortunate enough to say stop early enough, but I wasn't good. I wasn't feeling all right, and I have seen what it is to not be aligned with your values and your motivations enough to understand that that's something I don't want. So I keep this in mind every day. Okay, t-shirts, sweatshirts, people I'm happy to work with, fun, snowboarding, surfing, families, friends. Okay, let's keep that alive.
If you think back to maybe the first 12 months after acquiring the brand, were there any surprises in terms? I'm sure there were lots of surprises, but in terms of kind of having the knowledge and the understanding of how to deal with this, anything that stands out where you're like, I didn't expect this, or I have no idea how to deal with this.
Yeah, that's very surprising, but I would say no, because the company was really clean. Khalida was very clean, so there were no hidden problems or whatever. So
it was the biggest surprise. The surprise came from that nothing was wrong. Of course, we had to reposition and to run our strategic plan, but nothing was wrong. We had big challenges ahead. The carve out, so getting the company out of a group. But we did it twice. So we knew how to do it. It's never easy. It's never done. But nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. That was the biggest surprise. The people, the process, the finance, customers, everything was right.
Even the carve out has been easier than we thought, and much easier than all the investment funds thought. Because that's one of the main reasons why the investment funds never wanted to buy Oxbow, because of the carve out, because statistically it cost a lot of money. It cost millions. but it didn't. Finally, because the way we did it, we, like Manu said, we have already done that one time, and also Khalida helps us a lot doing this. So yeah, so the surprise is that there were nothing wrong.
And we had a lot of support from all the people around, even the vendors. I mean, Khalida helped us a lot to get through the process of buying the company and also doing this carve out. The people from the group, Khalida Group, because Khalida is the mother company, but the group, La Fuma and Millet, they all helped us a lot, supported a lot the carve out project. And the people inside the company, they were really together with us to make it a success. So the 12 first month, we haven't had a big surprise. We went through the process. We decided to go through the carve out and looking at the logistic as well, making sure that Oxbow recovered from the COVID-19, because when we took over the company, it was full in the middle of the lockdowns and all these things. So we had to recover from COVID-19 in terms of business, and also making sure that the company became independent from the group. And on top of that, organizing, driving the repositioning of the brand and making our strategic plan a reality as well.
Yeah, of course, it's silly to say it now, but of course, I mean, the timing almost couldn't have been any worse somehow. Because it was May, so 2 months after the kind of initial lockdowns.
Yeah, the first one. But I think we had three lockdowns maybe somehow. So it was really in the middle of these turbulences.
Actually, we signed just before the first lockdown.
Okay.
Just before.
Okay.
It was crazy.
That's the funny fact.
No, that's funny.
We signed the takeover. We signed the agreement before knowing what's going to happen with the COVID-19.
Yeah,
it's just like 1 or 2 weeks before the first.
Yeah, it was something in China.
Yeah.
Happening in China. So we signed. We said, okay, we buy it.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks after
the lockdown,
and all the things with the COVID-19, and we had a month between the day we signed and the day we had to give the check, the money.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of this period, then the lockdown and all the customers, the retailers, everything collapsed. Collapsed.
It was the end of the world at that time. It's difficult to remember now, but
and we didn't know what would happen.
And now we say that's funny, but at that time, because it took 2 years to take over Oxbow, and we had so many obstacles, thinking that okay, this time it's okay, we're gonna buy it, okay, everything is done, and for one reason, boom, it was not the case. So we had to start again, and we did that probably 5 or 6 times. So my friends were saying, and JC, this time it's okay, and I said yes, this time it's okay, unless Trump sent a nuclear bomb on Kim Jong-un. Unless that, I think it will be okay. And 2 weeks after, this is the lockdown. So my friends were calling me and said, JC, I think that time it's impossible to take over a company in this condition.
Someone somewhere wants to make it a fail.
It was completely crazy. Wow. And so in one month, we had to start again the negotiation with the buyer, with the banks, with the financial partners, with all the people. It was really crazy.
Because even Khalida, they thought we would stop the process and just give up. Yeah. So we had a call and okay, so we understand you probably want to stop. You want to do something else, okay? And we said, no, of course not.
Yeah.
No. We want to buy it. Just we need to talk again.
Sure. Yeah.
Find a new deal. Yeah. But we want to buy it for sure.
Wow. That must have been incredibly stressful now. I mean,
Yeah.
when you think that a week or so before you signed,
Yeah.
I mean, I know how stressful it was working for I was working for Sound at the time, so you know, €1 billion business, and I know how stressful that was. So for you, I don't even want to imagine. I mean, it's,
Yeah, it was especially for you, Manu, because Manu has 4 kids, young kids. I have 2 daughters, 30 years old, so they are independent. So, and I was at that time I had no more loans. Now it's a little different, but at that time, so it was a little less stressful for me than for Manu. But it was,
Yeah, because we had working for 18 months, but not just JC and myself. We had a team of maybe 5 or 6 people, lawyers and consultants and advisors. So for 18 months, and in this kind of deal, you have to pay these guys for the 18 months. And usually when you do the deal, they are paid, let's say the
deal. The amount of the deal.
The money is included in the deal.
Yes.
But if the deal is not done, we still have to pay them, JC and myself, from our own pocket.
yeah.
And it's hundreds and thousands euros to pay these guys. So
And even at that time, we were able to have fun and to laugh about what
Our
You
situation.
have to, you know, because otherwise,
you cry.
you
You cry and
you're gonna
you
be
kill
crazy.
yourself. So the pressure was probably at the highest point because it was the end of the process. So we had 18 months of invoices to pay to the consultants, and the deal wasn't done. The deal was even almost dead. So that's not the reason why we wanted to buy it. The pressure was very high, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And from the day one, we worked with two people of KPMG, and we met them 2 years ago at Lyon for the opening party. And we remember with them we remember all the time, all the obstacles, and they were saying that it was completely crazy, and for them it was what we did. For them, they thought that we would have stopped way more times before that we finally succeeded. So
They were kind of impressed
yeah.
by the craziness and
That's exactly
and
that.
sometimes maybe just being stupid and
stupid.
how do you say, stud-born and
naive and
Okay, guys, respect.
How this guy are able to keep on, putting their head in the wall, bam, bam, bam. For
Keep
2 years.
smiling, having fun
Yeah.
when the situation is desperate.
Yeah.
Okay, well, respect, guys.
And there was-
Congratulations.
that didn't cause any friction between the two of you, because I mean
Never.
it must have been. I mean, in those situations when the stress is so high, normally the people that are closest to you are the ones that suffer.
That's the other crazy thing. Never. Not even a single second. Never.
No, we're aligned.
And if Manu would have told me, JC, I stop because now I have to work, I would have said, okay, I understand. It never happened.
Yeah, no, and I always had your support. So I remember when the car we
Geneva.
were driving to Geneva for one more meeting, but one of the last ones, and we had many reasons to be kind of desperate because we had to announce to Khalida that we had a no-go from a bank, and it was already like 15 months working on the project. So I told Jesse, listen, if I think 2 minutes, if I try to be smart or intelligent for 2 minutes, I would stop now.
All my body says stop.
Stop it.
He told
Stop
me.
this project, find a job and secure your family.
Yes.
And you know what, Jesse? I'm going to keep on going with this project. And Jesse said, yeah, well, it's your decision, but yeah, let's keep going.
I was driving the car. I said, let's go to Geneva.
So.
And the funny story is that 1 hour later, we received a text from a banker at 8 in the morning. So that's very rare that they work at that time, saying, okay, I will go with you. Just 1 hour after.
Just before the meeting started. Okay, we are with you.
Yeah.
So finally, in the end.
But we never had tension between us. Never.
So let's talk a little bit about values. I mean, you've both somehow touched on this already, but how did you define the values for Oxbow, and what role do they actually play in the way you're running the business? Because I think we've all probably experienced times when the values are written on the wall, and that's the only place they're really respected, on the wall. So I get the sense from both of you that values are very strong, a fundamental part of you both. So how does that translate then at Oxbow?
I'm always a little lost with values and what is a value, but what I would say is we are very loyal and we expect the people to be loyal. We respect a lot the people. It's the priority for us, because it's not just because we're good and we want to be a good human being. It's also because or to develop a healthy business, you have to have good people with you, motivated, ready to give a lot. And the only way to have people in this state of mind, it's when you give responsibility, you give respect to the people, you treat them well. And that's also a way to improve the loyalty of the people, because having loyal people, it's having a stable organization. It's important, not too stable, but stable enough, and be reliable for partners, suppliers, customers, anyone.
Yeah, I would say the most important point is what Manu said. This is the people. It's all about the people. If you have the people, you can do everything. If you don't have the people, even Nokia can collapse. So it's all about people and all about respect. Because if you respect the people, they will be happy to work in, because they will be respected. And it's all about respect. If you respect the people, if you respect yourself, if you respect your brand, I think you will have the success from your retailers, from your customers, from the suppliers. It's all about people and respect.
And respecting people doesn't mean always to say yes.
No.
It's also to say no.
Yeah.
And sometimes difficult decision to be made as well. But respect, you can have respect in all these situations.
If you respect yourself, if you respect your brand, you have to say no. You have to say no to customers. You have to say no to retailers. You have to say no to colleagues. You have to say no. Respect in both ways.
Yeah. So that, I guess, from a cultural point of view, then, respect is probably the red thread, let's say, that runs through everybody, let's say, within the business.
Yeah. When you give your word to respect your word, it's all about that.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
You've both, now I'm going to make some assumptions here because I didn't work with the companies that you've worked with, but you've both worked in companies where potentially that's not the case, where the people and the respect is not, let's say, the red line throughout. So I guess it goes a little bit back to your comment earlier on about, it wasn't so much that you necessarily had some really strong inspirations in managers, but you learned from maybe the bad ones. And is that somehow how this topic of respect and people is now clearly so strong for you both?
The main reason why I saw so many big brands collapsing is because the people working at the brands were not respecting the brand, doing shitty products, doing shitty deals, working with shitty dealers. I think that's the main reason why they started to go down.
Yeah, a lot of
from a sales point of view.
Sure.
But same everywhere in the company, and of course, it's not about the company, but the people in the company, and some of them, of course, I met and I crossed my path with these guys that don't have respect or not enough, in my opinion. Of course, and but I also understand why it's not easy to have respect. Sometimes you just want to protect yourself, and you are in a situation where you can lose control, you can lose respect, and I understand that. But that's where you need, as a manager, as a boss, you need to be strong, even in this crazy, stressful situation. Never lose respect. but it's easy to lose.
Yeah.
It's for sure easy to lose it. And I've seen a lot of people losing the respect and many other things just because too much pressure. And if you don't have the right level of or to deal with the pressure,
you have to accept the duty of the responsibility.
Yeah, you can lose the values, the respect, everything. And that's where we also have a big responsibility when you manage people. It's not to put too much pressure on the people, because according to the pressure they can deal with, you have to make sure the balance is there, is respected. If not, of course, you take the risk to have the people changing their mind and becoming bad.
And how, when it comes to looking for new members of your team, what's your approach to ensuring that you're finding people that will fit into that environment? Because some people definitely are motivated only by the money, let's say, and only by exceeding their target. This is usually a sales topic. I have a sales background too, so how do you make sure when you're bringing on new people into your team that they're fitting within that culture and within that mindset?
I think you know that, because your job is to hire people, and when you hire someone, if you spend enough time, not too many hours, but enough time with the person, and if you are interested to know her, you understand quite fast what the motivations are. And we are not, I would say now, focused on the expertise, on the hard skills, let's say, but much more on the personality. Yeah. And it's usually interviews here or with us are in, let's say, 2 times. Yeah. The first one, it's with the direct manager to evaluate the skills, the professional skills. Yeah. And the second time, it's either with JC or me or both of us to test the personality and see if it fits with the rest of the group, with the company, with our values or not. Yeah. And we don't talk about expertise. We don't talk about the missions related to the position, but more about you have brothers, sisters, what your parents are doing, or what's your hobbies, who are you, what do you like, what do you don't like, what don't you like, and many things to discuss about. And then we hire the people, and sometimes it's a failure. And if you are not afraid to say no,
if you are humble enough to accept your failures
and say no, then okay, in France we have a couple months to see if we want to keep on working with the person or not. And sometimes we said, okay, we made a mistake, so let's stop. And sometimes, most of the times, it works well. Yeah. And we already hired people that were working at the lobby in a hotel to be at the customer service or to be accountant. And we train the people, we support, we help the person to develop the skills. And if the personality is right, quite often it works well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's super important these days, I think, more so than ever. But it's not always easy to really identify the personality, but it sounds like you have a good process.
Actually, this is the most important thing, because the way we manage, we need to have people who understand that the cool management is for the benefit of the company. And when you are the wrong people, they think that it's because that's cool. And so we have to make sure that we have chosen the right personality to fit. And I think that you have this feeling when you get in the building here in the head office. You can see that there is a different atmosphere than in the other companies. Yeah. And it's because they all have this kind of personality. And I know that personally, when I get in a shop and I can feel, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I can feel what is the atmosphere in this company, in this shop. And if the atmosphere is not good, I don't want to stay. I don't want to buy anything.
Yeah.
And I think that the consumer can feel the atmosphere of the brand, of the company, of the people who work at that company.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's the reason why that's also so important for us,
Yeah.
to have the good personalities.
Looking at the big picture, and maybe it's the same answer, but what would you consider to be the most important role that you have, or the most important task or job you have of leaders of this business?
I would say to anticipate.
Now our role is really to make sure that we give the resources to our team to do what they do well every day. So we're not into doing sales or marketing or product. We have people for that, good people. Now our job is really to make sure that they will have time. The company will have time to develop and when I'm saying having time, it's about financial support, financial resources. It takes time to build up a strong brand. It's not something you can do in 2 or 3 years. You have to go slow enough to build up something very strong and solid foundations. So the time costs money. It's not about expertise. We have the expertise, but we need to be sustainable enough and to provide resources to our people to develop the right product, do the right marketing, and sell as much as they can.
If you are fake, you can have a success. We have a lot of examples of fake brands who have a huge success very quickly, but never it lasts.
Yeah.
And we are in a long-term process, long-term project, so we don't want to be fake. We want to have a legitimate success, and it takes time.
So what's the most valuable piece of advice you've ever received?
Probably the best advice I received from someone is, Manu, don't do that. Because I've did it. I've done it.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he said, no, don't do it, why not? And then you start to think and you start to analyze and say, but of course I want to do it. Why shouldn't I do it? Okay, but then if I do it, okay, I have to think about it. So it starts a process. It launches a process to think about what you're going to do, and then you do it better. So yeah, it's not like only a joke, but it's
Sure.
because there is, I don't know, maybe it's because we're in France, but it's very rare when you meet someone to give you advice. Usually they say what you don't have to do or where you fail. But I had a boss at Billabong who gave me this opportunity who pushed me a lot. But it didn't happen to me a lot. It was this time, and only this time, I guess. And the rest of my life, I had to listen to people saying, no, don't do it, or do it differently. And sometimes they were right, but most of the time they were wrong.
Yeah.
I was 20 years old, and one day told me, don't be chosen, choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me 30 years to understand that.
Yeah.
Don't be chosen, choose.
Yeah, that's right. And I have another one. It's future is now as well. Or in French, it's a little different, but it's the same sense. And don't wait for the future to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do now to make sure that in the future you will achieve your goals.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Don't be passive or don't be chosen.
Don't stay in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drive your own destiny. It's really the best advice.
We're gonna die.
One day.
Short is life. Life is short.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the others.
You've started answering another question, one of the last questions, which is always about if you could give future leaders of our industry 3 pieces of advice, what would you give? So maybe you've already given one here, because I'm not sure we can take your first one.
Why not?
Because it's quite time specific. But life is short, so future is now is a good one.
I think that be confident in yourself is the first step.
Okay.
because it's too difficult. If you're not confident in yourself, you won't be able to succeed, and most importantly, you won't be able to convince the others that you are able to do it. And it's all about confidence and convincing the others. So the first advice, I would say, be confident in yourself. If you doubt, don't try.
Yeah. The second one for me would be a hard worker, because if not, you're going to disappoint. And it's good to be confident in yourself, but never disappoint, because it's worse then.
And the third advice is, it's so much better to have a partner. It makes all the difference. Alone, for me, it would have been completely impossible. And so the third advice is, choose a hard worker.
Who doesn't drink?
It's better. But if he drinks, make sure that he's a hard worker.
If today was the last day of your career, so you're going to hang up your surfboard, you're retiring from Oxbow and going to, well, no, not hang up your surfboard, you're just going to go and surf.
The opposite, yeah.
Exactly, the opposite. You're picking up your surfboard, you're picking up those golf clubs, and that's it. So no more work. What message would you give to your team?
Thank you.
And good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, because that's so cool to work at Oxbow, you know. Because that's strange what I'm going to say, but I don't have the feeling to be the owner of the company, you know. I'm just working amongst other people, and that's so cool to work with all these people. Some of them are working for Oxbow for almost 30 years, you know. They are so well experienced. If the company is still running, is still okay, is still alive, it's because they have worked so hard. So yeah, thank you.
Same for me. Yeah, thank you. Very proud of you, and and I hope that they will feel secure enough. A big thank you.
Great. Well, thank you both.
Thank
for
you,
taking the time today and not saying no to me.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for your support, and see you soon for the next Sports and Outdoor Mentors episode.